Hello, guys. Welcome to another I'm Sorry But podcast. Where today we're going to be talking about Dragon Slayer, the anime. My
Demon
name is
Slayer.
Demon Slayer, Dragon Slayer, all the Slayers. Is there a Dragon Slayer anime? Just off topic, real quick, to make myself correct.
There probably is. There's probably a couple out there. I don't know if it's called Dragon Slayer, but it's probably some dragon themed
That
slaying anime out there.
shows you how much I know about anime. Demon Slayer. My name is Adrian. You can get at this podcast at the I'm Sorry But podcast on all social medias. This will be available tomorrow on YouTube. Below we have Martin, and to my right we have Andrew. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
But
Uh,
yeah, or sorry, you want to go
uh,
first?
well, he wants us to introduce ourselves. So I'm Andrew.
Andrew.
And yeah, I'm Martin.
And we will have their links and stuff in the description below. So, Martin, Demon Slayer. Do you want to give us a quick rundown of what we're talking about?
Yeah, so Demon Slayer, or as it's known in Japan, Kimetsu no Yaiba, is one of the newer brands of shonen. Uh, like after the whole era of like the big three, Bleach, Naruto, One Piece. This was, and Andrew, you could totally correct me if I'm wrong here. Probably the first of the newer generation of shonens, at least like the mainstream shonens. After like at least Naruto and Bleach finished their runs.
And what is a shonen?
Shonen is basically how's the best to describe it? It's basically the anime version of like typical like action adventure sort of tropes.
Okay. Okay.
So like Dragon Ball Z is a shonen, One Piece is a shonen,
Okay.
Naruto, Bleach, that like that genre of anime.
Okay. Got it.
Which is like not even arguably it is the most popular like subgenre for anime, like, and it's not even close.
The classic adventure arc.
Yes.
Okay.
Um so yeah, this one's a little interesting because yeah, this was written and illustrated by Koyoharu Gotoge. I don't know if he's known for any other works outside of this one. Um and the first issue published on the Weekly Shonen Jump in probably February 2016. February 2016. It follows this main character, Tanjiro Kamado, a young boy who aspires to become a demon slayer title. After his family is slaughtered and his sister Nezuko is turned into a demon. That's like the bare bones synopsis.
Okay.
Um, so it got its own anime. I believe it aired in April of 2019. So a little over 2 years ago. It was animated by Studio Ufotable. Um, so for anime watchers out there, you might know their works from the Fate series. They were responsible for that. Um, but the reason we're talking about it now is because their sequel movie, Mugen Train, just released in the States. What is it now, Andrew? Like, it's been
Month
here
and a
for like
half ago.
around a month.
Yeah, about
Yeah,
a month and a half.
month and a half, and it has the numbers that it's done in the box office. Like honestly, like I would never have predicted this. It's the highest grossing anime film slash Japanese film of all time. Um, it did more damage than like anime movies like Spirited Away and Your Name. Um, and I think the numbers are still ramping up. I just watched it yesterday. Like, um, you like 3 years ago, 2 3 years ago, like an anime film being released here, like still being aired in theaters, like a month plus after its release, like that almost like never happens,
No, it's
right?
unheard
Like,
of. It's
yeah,
very unheard of.
yeah, like you, like it would like air for like probably like 1 maybe 2 weeks if like the theaters are feeling generous. But yeah, like because after I got vaccinated, I was like 100% not expecting to like be able to see this film. I would be like, okay, I gotta wait for it to come to digital, yada yada, like the whole thing for anime films. But yeah, I looked up showtimes over the weekend, and yeah, they're still airing like in like local theaters. It's like it's this just completely like unheard of for anime films.
Because with the power of friendship, COVID can't get you guys.
Exactly.
COVID's a destination, not the friends we meet along the way.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's pretty much kind of like just a little summary of what's going on with that. And yeah, Adrian, like what Martin was saying about the big three earlier, as the shonen top selling like manga or comics, if you will, in Japan. Originally, they were the big three would have been like what were the original three? Martin.
Uh,
It was
well, like
Dragon Ball Z, right?
yeah, Dragon Ball Z. Inuyasha. I don't know if I'd consider that a shonen.
Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yu Yu Hakusho was definitely like I think part of the original big three. Obviously, it wasn't like as big as like the others, but I would say Dragon Ball Z, Yu Yu Hakusho. I don't know if there was a third one in that original big three. That's what I remember from the 90s.
So according to this article I'm looking at, the original three would have been the Dragon Ball, Slam Dunk, and Yu Yu Hakusho.
Slam
Was,
dunk.
yes.
I think I've ever heard of that.
Slam Dunk, basketball, anime.
I did watch Yu Yu Hakusho.
But it was from the early generation of anime that was getting out. Before that would have been after that the ones that took over would have been One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach, right?
Yeah, that's
So those are the big ones. Those are the big top
the ones
sellers.
that most people are familiar with.
And
The
now,
millennials of animes.
Yeah.
pretty much. And now that Naruto's ending and Bleach is pretty much on, dead.
Yeah, it's been dead for
It's been dead
a little bit,
and
or should be. Like they're trying to I think they're trying to resuscitate that series with I think a new arc or something. But yeah.
and what's it? One Piece refusing to die. That kind of
Yeah.
leaves room for the new three. And quickly, I think Demon Slayer is gonna kind of be up there. Like Demon Slayer, My Hero.
Yeah. Jujutsu might join that
Maybe
batch.
it depends. It takes a little bit more time to figure out who's gonna survive.
Yeah, definitely.
And honestly, well, now we're talking about Demon Slayer, and I wasn't really into it. Really, I watched it, finished it. It was cool. I can't say I didn't like it. 7 out of 10 was my original rating for it.
Right.
Just because I was like, stories, fights are cool. Yeah, when these characters learn how to breathe, which is the whole premise of the show, is learning how to breathe, Adrian. Because with breathing
Demon
comes
Slayer?
power.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's like their in Dragon Ball Z it was like power levels or chi or whatever.
Yeah.
In Naruto it was chakra, kind of like the whole
Their magic pool is called
yeah,
breathing.
yeah. For Demon Slayer it's breathing. There are different forms of breathing. It's
Okay,
almost kind of
okay.
like a school of martial art. So there's different forms of breathing, and how well you're able to fight and slay demons is dependent on how well you're able to breathe.
That's really metaphorical, I feel.
Yeah. When with breathing control comes calmness and accuracy. So in theory, it makes sense that if I am able to control my breathing and then perform to do an acrobatic stunt in a way that it would do uh, an attack of some sort. and they do these big flares, and we'll pull up some pictures just so you can see some of the artistic styles of it.
The art's
It's all
fantastic.
it's
for,
all
like,
visualization
Yeah.
for us to see, but if you were to take that away, it's literally just homeboy swinging a sword.
Okay.
Right, and that's all it is. But it's just giving us that extra vision of saying, okay, breathing is important. And the one thing I thought was stupid during the show was that, all right, cool, you need to learn how to breathe in order for you to get stronger. I was like, okay, cool. You know, we already learned to breathe to get to this point, but let's learn to breathe again. And you're like, all right, now you got to learn how to breathe constant. All right, don't stop breathing, or we're gonna hit you. And I'm like, so they spent months training themselves to be at a constant breathing style constantly, even while asleep. And there's like, all right, cool. Now that you know how to breathe, you're probably not gonna die.
Well, the way
Probably.
I interpreted it was like it was sort of like meditation on steroids. Like I think the whole like freaking like school of thought behind meditation was like there's certain breathing techniques like that allow you to like tap into like this sense of focus. Like obviously like in Demon Slayer, like that means like those levels of breathing will like let you control water or lightning or like just give you like these crazy superhuman like feats. Um so yeah, that was my takeaway from that was like, oh, like you learn to breathe this way, but like you need to take your breathing to like the next level or something
Power
like
up your
that.
breath. Go take your
Yeah,
breathing
which
Super
which was
Saiyan.
fine for me. Yeah, which was fine. Like it wasn't like I wasn't in love with it, but like the aesthetics were cool and like so like it was serviceable for me. Like the explanation was like it didn't like take me out or nothing. Yeah, in our circle of friends, that like the consensus seemed to mostly be that like yeah, the first season was a little bit overhyped. Because when it aired in 2019, if you were watching it on the weekly, when it first released, like probably no one would say that it was overhyped. It didn't really blow up in the anime scene until episode, I think it is, let me get
13?
this right. Was it 13? No. It was like 19 or something, right? The battle with the spider dude, the like the episode, like the most like the
Yes. Okay.
yeah the people that have watched Demon Slayer will know what I'm talking about when I say like the episode when like the studio just decided to just flex like their entire fucking animation budget and just create like the most beautifully like animated sequence that like I still have yet to see topped in like any other anime ever. And I don't say that lightly. Like it was fucking beautiful. And that is one thing that I will say about Demon Slayer. Like in our first episode, I think we kind of in our first anime talk, I think we kind of talked about like the shortcomings Demon Slayer had that like, and we compared it with like Jujutsu Kaisen, which we vastly preferred over Demon Slayer. Like that was kind of like unanimous. But I will say this in Demon Slayer's defense: like while Jujutsu Kaisen episode to episode was consistently more well animated, when Demon Slayer just decides to get serious with their animation, like no anime is beating like their level of quality. Like episode 19 is like the obvious example, but I think you said like episode 13 that was when they were in like the house that was a maze, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought that was
like that
pretty
yeah,
good.
that fight was like insane also, like so it's really weird. Like I think the best way I could describe it is that like they don't have the level of like consistency that Jujutsu had, where it was just like every fight was great, like nothing was like put like didn't feel like a single episode was put to waste for the most part. You
Don't
can't
get me
say
started on
that.
the baseball episode.
Yeah, please. Yeah, that's why I said for the most part. But Yeah, you can't say that for Demon Slayer that's the same. Like their level of consistency is like nowhere close to Jujutsu, but the highs, in my opinion, the highs in Demon Slayer are so much higher than like even Jujutsu's like even like where Jujutsu peaked in like their episodes.
Agreed. No, I agree. I agree. And Adrian right now he's looking at some of the breathing techniques. As you can see, breathing can create fire.
Yeah, I'm noticing how this guy's got a fiery sword. Um,
So that's the main character. That's Tanjiro.
okay.
That's his demon sister.
Yeah, you know,
She looks like little
a
Peepo's
menace
sister.
to
She's
society.
also
You know,
12, and I don't want to talk about how people are weird about her.
Ugh. Leave it
But
to the
hey,
internet.
anime, right? Anime.
yeah.
This movie though,
See, this is pretty clean looking.
it's a really nice looking anime. Adrian,
Yeah, like
if you get a chance, put it on your TV. Watch it in 400K. You know,
They have that many Ks now?
as
yeah,
many as you can make it, bro. As
yeah,
many as you can make it,
as many cases as possible.
and watch it. It's very well animated. Once you get to that episode 19, you'll see that they did spend the whole budget, right? And
Yeah.
when you watch the movie, right? I was talking about it when I saw it 2 weeks
I
ago.
like how it's the first suggestion.
Yeah, episode 19. Yeah, like
Everyone
Yeah,
knows.
that
because everyone knows like that
'cause,
that's part
like,
of these
This
fights
is
right
this
here.
is when it
yeah,
This
happened.
because
all,
I think honestly episode 19 was like when like the whole talks about like the show being overhyped like came in.
yeah started because TikTok picked it up and TikTok blew it up.
Like that was when like
Woof.
that was when the show's popularity just completely just fucking skyrocketed through the stratosphere.
Yeah, look right there, man. That's four people's yearly salaries right there.
Just
Yeah.
the head just off stage right. Whoop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
That whole fight.
That
Great.
whole fight. Like even not just the fight, right? Like the scene with in the flashback where it was showing like his father's breathing technique and his dancing. I think I I don't know what animation that technique they use. I almost want to say it's like something similar to like rotoscoping, but that was like the most like fucking that was the most realistic that like human motions that I've ever seen in like an anime. Like it's really hard to describe like what like that animation style. Like it's nothing that I've ever seen like in any other anime.
Yeah, and it's freaking hype. Honestly, the show, it's good. That movie, that fucking movie, dude.
That move, yeah,
It toyed with your emotions, right? Because you're used to episode format,
Mhm.
and uh, we're gonna get into a little slight spoilery-ishness. Just kind of like vaguely talk about it. Uh, there was a homeboy is fighting a demon, and then
yeah,
he fights the demon, and then he wins against the demon, and I'm like, all right, cool. This is where the episode would end, and it just
right.
keeps going, and I'm like, oh, well, what's going on here, And then it just keeps going, and then another little arc because I feel like it broke out into like 3 arcs into the movie, where it would break in episode format.
Yeah. Well, the entire movie is like one arc actually, which is like what people have been saying is that like because the worry when like they first announced this movie with like manga readers was that like how are you gonna fit an entire arc into a movie format? Um,
And I think they did very well.
I think they did it pretty well. I would not be surprised, honestly. Like with the success that this movie's had, I would not be surprised if more studios and like other series like take after this like movie mini arc format for their works as well. Um, because yeah, like I was excited to watch this movie just to see what this studio would do with like on like a movie budget if season 1 was like any indicator of like what they were capable of. And right off the bat, like even just the opening scene in that Japanese cemetery, freaking beautiful, Like the trees and like everything, like that was legit. Like some of the most like beautiful scenery and like most well animated trees that I've seen ever, like in any sort of anime.
It really does. It stuck with me. What are the fucking trees called? What's the plant? It's the
They had a special name for them. I don't know if they're
no,
like
they're real. They're a real plant.
those are real
tree.
plants.
Yeah. It's
Let me see. Let me.
wisteria.
Wisteria. Yeah, wisteria flowers.
And those are real flowers, real trees that produce that flower, and just the way they looked, just I wouldn't say they looked real, but they looked beautiful. Just the way that they were artistically drawn, and you could tell that every single leaf was just detail, detail, and that whole movie was just well drawn, paced. Um, uh, the moments where you thought, okay, cool, this is settling down, and it's like, nope, we're back in it. And even even part of the dream sequences, just the you could feel with every one of the characters that were emoting. And of course you have to have your comic relief, because
That
everyone's got the
is,
comic relief.
yeah, that is probably the one negative that I would say that I had with the movie, and it also kind of it also kind of transfers into some of my gripes with the first season as well. Is that like the main cast of characters, you got Tanjiro and Nezuko, who are like the main focus, and then you got the side characters Inosuke and what's his name, Zenitsu. Um, Probably my main gripe is that, like, yeah, they're comic relief, but they seem to be only comic relief, if that makes sense. Like, there's
Yeah.
not as much further depth to their character. They kind of tried to dip into it with Zenitsu, which was like really interesting, but they like showed his flashbacks and like his backstory in the first season, but then like he went back to like simping for Nezuko and like just on his regular bullshit.
Simp be simp,
um
man.
I was like the dream sequence that you were talking about. I was excited to see like what they would do for like each of the characters, because I thought it would be a cool glimpse to see like like we're seeing like we're getting a glimpse into their souls. Like I want to see what that looks like, and they kind of just like played it off for like more comedic relief, which was like that was a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, for those two characters, it could have really brought them to reality. And then even if they never go back to it again, in this movie, they could have gave us like real glimpses into their lives and made us really like them. And they'd be like, okay, now I understand why they
Actually care about them.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and with Zenitsu, he's the blonde-haired kid, Adrian. If you're able to find him on there,
Zenitsu?
Zenitsu.
Yeah.
He is extremely terrified of fighting.
He looks nervous.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's like
very nervous. He
coward.
thinks he's a failure.
Yeah.
He's gonna fail, and he is a nervous wreck, right? So I don't know how he even got the job. That being said, the reason he got the job is because he's trained so hard, so long, and only mastered one form of like the 9 forms of lightning, that when he goes asleep or unconscious, his body moves on raw instinct.
Yeah. Like, so when he sleeps, like he becomes like this complete beast of a demon slayer.
Because he's got the lightning down packed and his body knows what to
Yeah,
do.
like
It's
his
just
body.
he's
Yeah.
in his own head, and he's like, I can't do it. I can't. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a failure. And then knocks out. He's like, who did this? What happened?
Yeah, basically like that.
Like his whole fight, like when every one of his fights that he has, they're great. They're just like perfect movements, beautiful. The lightning as an ability to see on screen and fighting. Even when you go like to Naruto with the Chidori blue lightning crackling around, it's just beautiful to see.
Yeah, Zenitsu's fights are legit like one of like the most like insane aesthetics like in Demon Slayer, and
Yeah,
probably
look at this. He's got it. Yeah, there you go. Like, tell me that wouldn't be a badass for your main character to do on command, but he has to piss himself and
Like
go
yeah,
This
unconscious.
is this
like
isn't command
when
though. This is involuntary, right?
yeah,
Exactly my
yeah,
point.
like when he goes to sleep, he basically becomes the Flash. Like
As illustrated by the lightning bolt that pew. Yep, I see it.
Like it would be dope to see him do it, but they didn't give us that. They gave us I'm a comedic relief and
like
this and that. And then look up the what's his name? I can't remember his name. Forehead.
yeah, Inosuke.
Inosuke.
Yeah, he grates on my nerves a little bit less. Um,
Oh, boarhead.
Yeah,
yeah,
because he actually does
I'm
things.
he
He
actually
does
does
things.
things. He actually does things. I'm like, but like I think that's what made my disappointment like a little bit like with the dream sequence for him a little bit bigger because I'm actually invested in his character and I wanted to like learn more about like like why he is the way he is. Um,
And
if you don't
instead,
know,
we
yeah,
get
his thing, Adrian, like he's a demon slayer,
Mhm.
but he was born in like the woods. He was raised in the wilds, so he's kind of like more of this like his breathing form is more of like this savage breathing form, and like he hasn't interacted really with like people like outside of the wilds a lot. So like he doesn't pick up on social cues a lot. Like he's like
he's awkward,
yeah, like socially awkward.
confrontational.
Yeah, super confrontational. Like he's great. He's great though. I love him. But
Yeah, so they
and
had an
like
opportunity to just to dig into his brain, and instead, they give us a little bit of a how would you describe it? A child's fantasy.
yeah, basically, which is like it makes a little bit of sense since like like his like mentally he is a little bit childlike,
Also,
but
he's
like
beautiful.
yeah, oh yeah, he's a beautiful man underneath that boar
He
head.
looks. I was about to say it's a dude, right?
Yeah, that's a dude.
They drew him very beautifully, and then even everyone will comment on it. That's why he wears the boar head because he just doesn't want people to pay attention to that.
Yeah. And I will say this one thing about the movie, though, like, is that um, like all these gripes that we're saying with the movie are like minuscule, like compared to like what they do great. Um, like the main draw of the movie, I think the Hashira, what's his name, Rengoku,
Yeah, Rengoku.
Rengoku. Like he became like everyone's favorite character over the course of this movie. In the first season, like he's like you probably see him for like
An
10
episode.
seconds, like
Yeah,
in
like an
like
episode.
one episode.
And he's the
And
only
he
one that's
doesn't
cool. He's like the only
yeah,
one
Yeah.
that's cool with
He's
them.
yeah,
got. This guy's got shoes.
yeah. But like by the end of this movie, like everyone loves him. Like that is probably like what I'm most impressed by from this movie is like how fast they were able to get us attached to this character in like such a short amount of time in movie format.
Just
Cause
yeah, like
yeah, because
yeah.
that's
Look at
hard to
this.
pull off.
Click on that. Yeah, for yeah. There you go. Yeah, because the way he plays himself off, he's like a loud, not cocky, but confident would be like the good word that it is. If you don't see failure, then you won't fail, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Like he kind of reminds me of like he kind of reminds me of like All Might in his prime, like from My Hero. He kind of gave
Right?
off
Okay.
that energy to me.
Yeah, you're like I'm a hero. I got to do what I got to do, and I'll make sure no one's in danger. Even during the movie, he's like, "All right, you new kids, go take care of that big demon that's obviously way more powerful than you guys. I'll save people." And then,
Yeah,
which I thought maybe it would have ended differently, but character development.
Mhm.
It's a story. Obviously, you're not gonna have the main character sit out and watch someone else do it, right?
yeah, yeah. And I mean, to his credit, like that plan, like I think he said he was holding down like 5 train cars by himself.
While the other two guys held down one each.
Yeah, yeah, which is like, yeah, insane.
So he's
Also, this guy
strong.
is quicker than the lightning guy.
Yeah, yeah,
At least
like
twice as fast.
yeah. His power levels are like
Over
pretty
9,000.
like insane. Yeah.
Kind of. So to give you a little bit into the ranking system of a demon slayer,
Mm-hmm.
the kids are like initiates. You
Okay.
know, like they got hired. You're level 1. You're your first rank. You
Trainee.
kind of trainee. You're
A
already past trainee.
a little bit above training.
Yeah,
'Cause,
you're
like,
hired.
They're
You're
yeah,
hired.
they're already fully employed. They're carrying out contracts, missions for
There's
the
like
Demon
a
Slayer
demon
Corps.
slaying. Yeah, there's a demon slaying authority. Okay. The demon slaying
Yes.
core.
Yeah.
The core is what takes care of missions, and they
Yeah.
got ravens that talk to them and shit like that, which is pretty
Mhm.
cool. Then you got like the little mid-rank guys who are like a little more experienced, but they're not really titled. Then you have the guys on top, which are the Hashira, and those guys are the baddies. These guys are
Yeah, like
A rank and above
S
demon
tier.
slayers.
yeah, like
S tier.
best of the best. Like
They're the examples that you want to be, and I don't know if there's a limit to how many Hashira there can be.
I
There-
think there is, because I think they have one Hashira per like breathing technique element, if I remember correctly.
I believe there's 5 elements, right, for breathing, and then from there they each spin
they
off.
branch
to a different,
off. They branch off or something like that. Because
But
yeah, he was the flame Hashira.
This guy.
Yeah,
correct. Yes.
the guy
Was-
that recruited. Yeah, the guy that recruited our main character in the first season. He's the water Hashira, if I remember correctly.
Yes, and he is also a water Hashira, the recruitee, because he got trained by the same master,
Yeah,
but also knows fire because Papa.
because his dad. Yeah.
So what are the
Um,
the 5 aspects here? Fire, wind. I'm assuming, water,
Earth,
earth, air,
love,
earth, lightning.
snakes.
Well, I think there was also like poison or something like that, because the female Hashira, like I think her thing was that like her breathing techniques can like I don't know, like curse or poison like demons or something like that. If I remember,
yeah, the
correctly.
butterfly
like
style or whatever.
yes, yeah, that one.
So
So
that
this
we
one
got the
looks like-
flower style,
I'm assuming her.
love style, flame style, the sun style, sound, thunder. We got wind, which is the guy that wanted to kill Nezuko.
Yeah,
There's the mist,
I need them
water,
broken down by their thingies
insect style, serpent
Insect?
style,
here. So are
the
these
moon style.
the bros
stone.
we're talking about?
Yeah.
Which one?
So like
Let me look.
Discord.
Those are the Hashira. Yes, those are the Hashira. Those are the big dogs.
yeah. So it's very much like, at least yeah, for me it's very much reminiscent of like, I don't know if you guys like ever watched like those old like 70s 80s kung fu films, like different dojos and like different schools of like martial art. Like it kind of like the way the powers, like the breathing techniques work, kind of reminds me of that.
Obani, Rengoku, Shinobu.
Are they the pillars of the
Daiomi,
Hashira? Is that what their
Gayu.
full title is?
I think so.
And of course, I guess the waifu one they wanted to put up in the front.
That's the insect one. No, that's the love one. She's her
This
her
is
power is
the
love.
same person.
Yeah, and then the
Green
other one's the
tips.
insect one.
Green tips.
Yeah.
What's the other one? This one? Shinobu?
No, the one in the middle. That's what's her fucking name?
This one?
What's her fucking name?
Hashira? No.
Shinobu Choko
Yeah.
or Kocho.
So like, yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Like
Shinobu?
when
Kojo.
Yeah.
Kocho.
There we go.
yeah, that's gonna be interesting when Tanjiro eventually becomes a Hashira, because I'd imagine like at some point in the story he's gonna become a Hashira. What like his rank would be, since like they like
They like to rank them out.
they designate them by elements. Like so yeah, they have the water Hashira, they have the flame Hashira, and like Tanjiro knows both techniques, so like it'll be
which
interesting
could
to see what
potentially
they
make
do.
him more stronger than the other ones.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Because he has access.
Why does Snake have its own thing?
I don't.
Is
know,
it like
man.
I
poison?
don't know.
No, it's
It's just like snakes?
the way they talk about how his technique works is his blade moves in a way that it's like a snake curling for a viper's that strike. So that they say that he attacks so quickly that the sword bends and flicks
Didn't
like
you
a bite.
didn't you say that flame dude like moves? So is that the fastest person then?
I don't
Well,
know.
I said
'Cause
he's faster than
we don't.
lightning, dude.
Yeah, because we don't know. At this point in the story, we haven't really gotten to interact with the other Hashira that much. The flame guy is really the only Hashira besides water Hashira guy that we've really gotten to know in the story. We don't really know that much about the others so far.
It's only like hearsay where the descriptors in the manga they're like, oh, this is the snake guy. He does this
Yeah.
and this, and oh, the insect girl. We got to meet a little bit, but we didn't really see too much into her fighting style. Saw a
Yeah.
little bit of it.
But
And,
from what I understood from the movie was that Rengoku, even among the Hashira, he was a big deal. Like even among their ranks, he's like, I want to say like in the top 5 or something like that.
Still a
Like,
Chad.
yeah,
he's
yeah,
Chad.
ultimate
He's
Chad.
like the symbol of good, right? In the Hashira, everyone else seemed a little more downer.
Like,
or,
yeah,
like,
like kind of
in
jaded.
reality of
Yeah,
like
kinda,
you
yeah,
know.
kind of jaded by their past experiences, like with demons and stuff. Like this is a good boy. Like he's pure.
He's the golden retriever of the group.
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like, aha, justice, good, help people. I'm doing this for my father.
Yeah. But yeah, going back to the movie, I mean, yeah, it was kind of like what Andrew was describing, where it was like it's going, and it gets to a point where you think it stops, like you think it's the end of the movie, and at that point, like, you know, like I was kind of like, it was a good movie, don't get me wrong, and I was like, yeah, you know, like it's pretty good, but like, you know, like I don't know if this justifies like the numbers like that it's been doing in the box office, and then like the last 30 minutes of the movie happen, and I was like, okay, I understand. I understand now.
Well, that's also kind of what I meant. Like, it feels like 3 episodes, right? Like, yeah, the first part of the movie where the demon goes down,
Right, like
and
kind of
then
like,
from there to the end where you said, okay, cool, this is where it should end. It was
Mhm.
all right.
right.
And then that final last bit where you're just like,
Yeah, holy shit. Like, to put it into perspective, the final fight of this movie, honestly, I it's probably, I don't know, I have to watch it again, but it's probably the best anime fight that I've ever seen. I don't know if I want to give it that title yet, because I've seen some pretty goddamn good ones.
yeah,
But it's definitely up there with like Obito versus Kakashi, freaking
mm-hmm.
like the Jujutsu fights. Like it's in that tier.
Yeah, no, honestly, great fight. And Adrian, for perspective at the end, this guy, you know how we're talking about how he's one of the top dudes in this demon core,
Rengoku.
demon slaying core. Yeah, he's one of the top dudes. He's super badass. On the opposite end, the bad guy who the main character is going after has about, what is it, 6 fingers, or was it 8 fingers of whatever they're called, whatever
Yeah,
they're
something
called.
like that. Yeah, so yeah, for the Demon Slayer core, they have the Hashira, right? But the demons also like are to an extent organized. Like they're pretty organized as well. They have their own hierarchy. Um,
Demon
so yeah,
Lord.
kind of like
No,
demon
well,
lords. Like I think they did call them the fingers of. I think.
or the eyes.
Yeah,
I think.
because think of the main villain of this series as kind of like
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson Dracula. He's like, you know, like Dracula was like the OG vampire that like gave birth to like all other vampires. Like this guy was the OG demon that like kind of gave birth to like all other demons, right? So the oldest demons that have been around for the longest are like his, I don't know if they're like his bodyguard, but like
there's crew.
There's crew.
There's crew, and they're ranked from 1 to I think 8 or
Yeah.
10 or whatever it is.
Yeah. So
And
at
you
the
have
end
to
of this,
the way to go up. You have to fight and kill the dude
Yeah.
above you.
yeah. So at the end of
Very
this movie,
Sith.
with like no warning, they throw like I think they said he was like one of the top 3 demons like in his ranks at us, like out of nowhere, out of freaking nowhere, and like from then on, like the movie just like goes completely bonkers. Like it's
Honestly, I thought I was gonna die. I was like, my heart can't take this. Like this fight is going on. It rivaled episode 19. I think it was even better than episode 19.
it might have been better, honestly.
Honestly,
Like, I'm
it
gonna
was
have to
such a
watch
good
both
fight.
again. Yeah.
There was so much breathing, so much breathing. I talk shit about the breathing, I really do, but the techniques, the styles, the swordmanship, it's all
Yeah.
very well done, all very well done, and the fact that just the way that the whole thing played out and it built you up and you felt all emotions. I
Mhm.
almost broke down crying.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed to say it. Animes make me cry. I'm still a man. I have hair on my chest. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Like
That's fine.
It was great, and that's honestly why the series right now, as it stands, after that movie, is a 9 out of 10 for me.
yeah, like yeah, for like I don't know if it became a 9 for me, but like I do understand where Andrew's coming from. Like it revitalized my interest like in the series. Like I'm really excited for season 2 now, which is set to like premiere I think this year.
Is it?
I'm not too sure. Either this year or early next year. Like back then, I was like a little lukewarm to like the upcoming seasons. Like I would watch it, but like there's nothing that I'm like crazy hyped over. Like now, it's like I'm like super invested into what happens next. Like that's how good this movie was.
It looks pretty interesting. It looks like something else. So I think the word you were looking for those demon people is Kazuki,
The Kazuki.
maybe?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Fall
Yes,
2021.
the 12.
Fall 2021.
Yeah.
So we're looking. Fuck, we're
Yeah,
like 3
12
months away.
Kazuki. English name. Yeah, the 12 demon moons. That's what they're called.
See, there's 12 of them.
Yeah,
I
and
think
then
the guy
like,
that
and then,
we got was like 4 or
yeah,
5.
yeah. So and then they're split into upper rank and lower rank too. So like the lower ranks I think is like 6 through 12.
Yeah, 6 to 12.
And what they said, I think at least what they established in the first season was that the difference in power between like an upper rank and a lower rank, it's like night and day, like complete night and day. This in the first season, you run into, I think it was like he was like what, rank 8th or 9th, the spider boy.
I think he was 12. Hold on.
Might have been 12. But
Let me look up Spider Boy.
yeah, like you run into him and he's
Spider
like
Boy.
he's just completely slapping like the entire like main cast of characters around like it's nothing, like it's like they're a joke. And then like I think
This
like
is the
when he was
12th
talking,
Kazuki.
yeah, and when he was talking shit, he was like, dude, like I'm just the 12th Kazuki, like bro, like if you can't handle me, like bro, the other 12 are like out of this world. They're insane, bro. Like you
Yeah, so
ain't.
he's
Do you
rank 5 of the lower Kazuki. So that's 11th.
11th, yeah.
So when you say in the movie they bring in like a rank 1, 2, or 3,
I think they said he was like upper 3, so like upper rank 3.
I will tell you right
I
now what rank he was. He was, oh god, upper 3. Yep, rank 3.
Upper rank 3.
He
So,
was
like,
rank 3.
Yeah,
So what we got was the second worst dude, and thought, man, these kids are gonna die.
yeah.
And then they threw
yeah.
the third best guy, and they're like, oh god, the whole world is gonna die.
Yeah.
Honestly, like this dude, And during the beginning of the fight, it's just like, "Hey, you're really not hurting me. You know that, right?" And they just kept fighting, and you're just like, "What's going on?
Yeah.
What is gonna happen?" And oh, dude, so like just the idea of just seeing this fight, and we've only met one of the top ranks, the upper ranks,
Yeah, which is this guy.
and we've already seen two of the bottom ranks, which spoiler alert is in the movie. One of them is in.
How do
Yeah.
the good pillars do against this level 2 person or this level 3 person in the movie?
Well, I think
Spoilers.
because
You want
Rengoku
spoilers?
was
I mean, no, I'm just saying spoilers.
because
Well,
Rengoku was what, a rank 3 Hashira? I don't know.
hold on, let me tell you right now. But the main bad guy of this movie was rank 1 of the lowers.
Yeah, because I don't know. Yeah, because the Hashira, I don't think they have the same ranking system that the demons have. I don't know if they're ranked numerically. But
I
Rengoku, like they did establish beforehand that he was one of the best. Like even among the Hashira, he was like top tier, and he was struggling against this rank 3 guy. Like it was not a good time for our boy.
Oh, his birthday passed. It was May 10th. Wait, when did this? Yo, what?
Did it come out on his birthday?
Maybe.
Oof.
Okay, came out before his birthday. Yeah, it aired on April 23rd. First airings. Man, they really gave him a spectacle for his birthday.
Yeah.
Really gave him a big bang.
But yeah, because even amongst the because they don't rank Hashira by like numerical ranking.
Numbers.
Yeah, so
That's what demons do, bro.
My
Yeah.
inclination is that this Rengoku guy dies. Or died. Because you guys keep talking about him in
well,
past tense.
Well, we're talking about the movie because we saw it in the past.
yeah.
That's true. Okay. I mean, I'm interested. I think I'd watch the movie. I think if
You
the
should
movie
totally not illegally download it and go to the movie theaters. Support AMC.
support
Yeah.
AMC,
Support
support
AMC,
AMC.
support anime movies. But yeah, I think I touched on this earlier too. Like, yeah, just like the numbers that this movie did at the box office just completely like baffled me. Like, I did not expect this movie to be as popular as it was. Because even the My Hero Academia movies, like I haven't looked at how they did in the box office numbers. I think the My Hero fan base is a lot bigger than the Demon Slayer fan base as well. I could be wrong about that, but it just feels like My Hero is a lot more mainstream. So you would think that their movies would do better. Like this movie just completely blew like all those other like freaking movies out the water.
Do you think this was like a hype train? Do you think it was good marketing, or do you think because you said the other you said My Hero has a bigger fan base, so why this one? Or do you think if My Hero came out with a movie that it would
Well,
just demolish
Well, they
everything?
did. They did.
they I think they've come out with 2 movies now.
They
But
did.
the ongoing trend, okay. So a little bit of history here. The ongoing trend with anime movies that come from like anime shows is that you could watch the shows like without the movies and like just be completely fine with like as far as like the continuity of like events that goes on in the show. Even spanning back to like Dragon Ball Z. Like I think the Dragon Ball Z movies were like at least until the recent ones, like but back in the day with like the Dragon Ball Z movies, like they're nice little side stories, but you don't need to watch them to like understand like what's going on in like the series. Like even with like Bleach and Naruto, like their movies were like just like almost no, yeah, they were filler movies. Like they're filler, but just like in movie format. What Demon Slayer did was like no, like this next arc that's coming up like in our series, we're just gonna turn it into a movie and we're gonna release it in theaters. So I think that's part of like what drew like a lot of the fan base like to go watch it in theaters, because it's like, okay, well, like if I don't watch this like and I go into season 2, I'm gonna be confused as hell, because
Okay.
like this is like the events
Just miss
like
an
in the
arc, yeah.
movie are canon, like so
It's part of the arc. It's
yeah.
part
So
of
I think
the
that's
whole
part of
story.
it, and I think the second part is just like the studio just did a damn good job, like just straight up. I think because um yeah, because I think that first week, I don't know if that's when it broke the records,
Um,
but yeah, just the amount of hype it generated, like off of like that first week, and I think like the way that it was circulating amongst social media just like made more people, even outside of the fandom, curious about the movie.
TikTok.
mhm.
Yeah,
TikTok is the key
TikTok.
factor of
Yeah,
this, honestly, because TikTok is exposing so many people to this, and even if you would never have been interested in watching it, you see a little clip, little 10-second, 15-second clip on a TikTok video, and all of a sudden you're like, well, that looked cool. You know how many times I've done that for anime?
So IMDb
So much.
gives My Hero a 7.5 out of 10, and Rotten Tomatoes gives it 100 for the movie. This is the 2018 movie, right? It's classified as an action comedy.
Yep, pretty much.
that sounds about right. Yeah,
Demon Slayer got an 8.4 out of 10 IMDb, but a 97 Rotten Tomatoes and a 2.5 on IndieWire. So
yeah.
My Hero movie was received better.
Um,
But it also
Slightly.
became, but it also became non-canon and didn't make as much money. One thing
Yeah.
I want to point out regarding anime movies that Martin brought up earlier is the time they're in theaters.
they're not in theaters for that
They're
long.
not in theaters that long.
Like,
So
in here,
the fact
in the
that this
States?
one's still, yeah, in general, yeah. So the fact that it's still going, it's still racking in money.
Right.
In order to be fair to like Spirited Away and other beautiful movies like that, you would only need to be able to count what what day they got aired on. Or they were only in
Yeah.
theaters for 3 days, so you only get 3 days and compare it that way.
Yeah,
That
because
because
like
it's still making money. It's still
Yeah.
making money.
because foreign films usually like don't like yeah, they don't last in theaters as long as like they usually do. Only if it's like something like this. I don't know if it was like, I don't know, maybe like part of the contract that the studio had with us like here, like overseas, or if it was just like the theaters just seeing like the numbers that it's doing and just being like, holy shit, we need to
We'll
like
keep it.
we'll keep
Keep it
airing
going.
this shit. Yeah, you know, like
People are coming to watch this thing.
yeah.
Pandemic. Honestly, the pandemic.
Yeah,
Theaters are
but
barely
yeah,
opening up, and the first thing they're gonna watch is Demon Slayer.
People
yeah,
would be dying to get. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe that was just a giant, like, brilliant marketing move, right?
yeah.
Right when
I
everything opens,
mean,
here's the good movie for you to watch. You all been waiting for it.
yeah, like I mean, like I said earlier, like this is pretty groundbreaking for the anime industry as a whole. Like I would not be surprised at all if we start seeing more like studios practice this kind of like format where they just like they release a season of an anime and then like for like this next arc they just make a movie out of the next arc. Like one, because they get a bigger budget like in movies, so like we get like way better animated scenes like we saw here. Like I don't know how like they were gonna improve from like how they were animated in the season, but they did it, you know. Yeah, like so I would not be surprised like if in the next couple of years we get like a sudden influx of like anime movies here, which obviously would be fantastic, you know.
I wouldn't complain. You tell me that it will take 13 episodes and put it down into to one, I'll fucking take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it. You know, 1.5 hour movie. Just give me the whole story. I'll fucking sit down and watch it.
Yeah.
So just release One Piece like that, and maybe I'd watch.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
going in that
seriously.
vein, like in that same vein too. Now that we're actually talking about it, Demon Slayer actually wasn't the first one to do this. I think like it was the first one obviously to like benefit from this format because like the timing of the release, as we talked about, was like really like on point, like right as like we're starting to open back up. We actually recently watched this in our anime book club, but Made in Abyss. They
Yep.
recently had a movie that also does that thing where like the movie is the direct sequel of the series. The problem for them was that the movie released in 2020 when we were in the middle of a pandemic. So obviously it didn't quite take off.
Direct to DVD kind of situation.
Yeah, it didn't quite take off like Demon Slayer did. I feel like if it was released now,
It may do better,
it may do better
but it
because
doesn't have enough hype. Honestly, what we need to do is to get Made in Abyss hype and just start making TikTok videos about it.
yes,
And just start getting people like,
it,
"Oh my god, have you seen this? This
cause,
shit's wild!" And then just like,
it 100%
"Ooh."
deserves the hype. Honestly,
It's a great anime.
yeah,
Start the hype train. Made in Abyss hype train. Let's go.
dude, I will get behind that hype train 100%.
All you gotta do is pretend you discovered it, and then people will be mad and comment on it. Like,
Yep.
you didn't discover this,
Yep.
and then it'll blow it up.
I found
That's
this
how you
indie
trend it.
anime, and it's the best anime. I think everyone should find this gem that I found. Made in Abyss.
Just like,
Yeah.
no one's ever seen this. And like, I've seen this. What are you talking about? That's a great
Yeah.
anime. And then
There you go, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's
Controversy.
box office hit.
box office hit, re-release. I'm buying the rights for the demon for the Made in the Abyss movies. AMC, since some of us are shareholders over here, we're gonna bring it up to the board meeting.
but yeah. Yeah, I think we were discussing this like last week after we all finished watching Made in Abyss because they did announce a movie, and like I was really surprised when I heard that it already released. But yeah, the fact that like it released like in the middle of pandemic season, I think hurt it like a lot, which was why it probably like flew under like a lot of people's radars.
Okay. All right.
Really unfortunate. Really
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
I think that we might start wrapping up this episode here. We're about getting to our typical time here. Do you guys want to add some closing points? I'm gonna start by saying support theaters. Go to AMC and watch Demon Slayer. It's apparently a very good movie. Don't pirate it. People need their money right now. I mean, different times, right? Uh, Not that I ever pirated anything or ever advocate that at all, but you know, those people, the industry's been hurting pretty good for the last year. So go and spend your money. I'm sure you got your stimmy somewhere.
Yeah.
Catch a movie, watch an anime.
Yeah.
We got we're starting an anime that I'm just being lazy to start right now.
Named?
For our book club. What's it called, Martin?
Mushishi. That's what it's
Mushishi.
called.
Mushishi.
Yeah, so that's like that's about a ghost detective, I think. That's kind of Ghost Detective, Ghost Whisperer. It's more of an episodic series than like a long continuous arc of just this guy like traveling around and solving people's ghost problems.
Is it dubbed?
I believe it's dubbed. Yeah. There's an English version out. It's been out for a while. But like yeah, I think I remember I've watched like the first episode like a few years back, but then I remembered liking it, but it was just one of those shows that I never got around to like actually completing. The aesthetic is really nice. It's definitely
Very grayscale to me.
yeah. It's definitely like a little bit
dull.
more a little bit dull. Like I don't know if they're trying to go for like a depressing atmosphere with it.
They hit it. They're going for depressing.
But
I
yeah,
feel it.
I've heard nothing but good stuff about this anime. So yeah. So yeah, Mushishi. That's next on our book club, which I am very excited to actually watch to completion this time. Piggybacking off of Adrian's statement, like go support movies, go support foreign movies, because like like this Demon Slayer stuff makes you have no idea how happy like its success is making me, because that just means like that we're probably getting more anime movies coming our way.
Oh, please, please, I would love it. Give it to me. I want my what is it? Rise of the Shield Hero movie.
There you go.
I know you're probably not the biggest fan of it, but
I wouldn't say I hate it as much as like say Sam. I just knew it wasn't for me. I might go back and revisit it, but like there's just so much like, especially with the book club now, there's just so much like anime to consume that it's
well,
like
that's why it's
it
on
might
the
take me a
list.
while. Is it? Oh yeah, you
The
are
list
right.
of lists again.
The list of lists, it's on there.
You guys,
So that way we can force you to watch an anime that we like.
you
There you
guys
go.
are
There you go.
going to
Not
have
force.
to pass that list on to your kids to finish it.
Are you kidding me?
No.
We're gonna have them make their own list and then present it to us. And then, just be
Exactly.
like-
So
and
so
then
that
whether
we
or
can
not we
judge
keep
it.
them or not, you know.
Yeah. You know, judge their worth by their list.
We don't even show
Your
them our
list is
scores. And be
garbage. Get
like,
out of my house.
you just like hand them the list. You're like, go watch anime and put your ratings. If you score incorrectly, you get kicked out of the house.
There you go.
If you score correctly, you
High
get put in the
stakes.
trust.
High
You get put in the
stakes.
trust.
Let me see if I raised you correctly.
Damn, this is
If
more a
not, you
test
start
on me than a
beating.
test on you.
Yeah.
You do that disappointed father thing. I failed you.
Yep, there you go.
I
I'm more
didn't show
upset at
you the right
myself.
animes. On that note, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. This was another I'm Sorry But podcast. You can catch this tomorrow on YouTube and all your other podcasting, your preferred podcasting platforms. And the description to all these nice folk are gonna be in the description, or the plugs for all these nice folk are gonna be in the description. So, thank you guys for stopping by, and have a good night.
Follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, that'll be in the description. Bye. All right.